Welcome to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Dr. Mary Olson with the Tri-County Rural Health Network. Thank you for coming, Dr. Olson.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Now, what does Tri-County Rural Health Network in Jefferson County, what does that mean?
Hey, that's a good question. Tri-County Rural Health Network, and all it does, connects people to health and health prevention resources. We're the connectors.
Okay.
We have a staff of 68 across 16 counties in the Delta, including Jefferson County, and 10 of those people are working on projects in Jefferson County.
Specifically just for Jefferson County?
Specifically for Jefferson County. 10 people working here. Our offices are all in the UAPB incubator, a marvelous facility, a marvelous service provided by UAPB, and we're very pleased with our relationship with UAPB and the incubator and the entrepreneurship. We're sort of the social entrepreneurs of the building. So we really appreciate it.
Okay. And you guys are working hand in hand with UAPB in reference to Tri-County to get this thing
Right. We're working with a number of partners across Jefferson County. But last week you had Dr. Tiffany Haynes with you.
Yes.
And she is a marvelous specialist expertise who cares most of all that whatever she does in helping alleviate depression in the Delta, including Jefferson County, most of all, it's developed here, it's what the people need, it's what the people want, and it grows out of the people. That is her passion. And that is who we are, making that happen. We are the people that pull the forums together so that people not can be told how to overcome depression, but can tell us what's needed in order to address the needs. Whether it's depression or diabetes or lupus or high blood pressure, the process is the same, always asking people, for we believe that the people most affected by health disparities are the people with the answers. Coupled hand in hand with the experts know, but we're the people that work with the people on the ground. Okay.
So the Tri-County Rural Health Network is more of a community engagement. Is that correct?
That's right. We work with the community, and so that when the experts like Dr. Haynes come and say, we really want to develop programs in Jefferson County, help us figure out what the community really needs, we're the people that works with people.
Okay.
We have a very high number. We maintain a database with UAMS. We are a community partner with UAMS, and so everything we do is subcontracted from UAMS in this particular work with Dr. Haynes. And a very high number of the people we work with say depression is something they would like help with.
Okay. So are you saying that here in the Delta or in this area of Jefferson County, do we have a high level of depression?
I would say we have a very high level of depression.
Okay.
We also work with people as they come out of prison. And that population, I don't know the exact stats, but it is extremely high coming out of the prison, but it's also extremely high in the community. Mostly we work with people who right now don't have insurance and so struggle with health bills, struggle with how to get in to see doctors when they need it. And somebody will come to us and say, I'm depressed, but I need help right now. And we say, we're working on a project that we hope will come into the county. We hope it will come under Dr. Haynes' leadership to help people relieve the depression. And they will say, we need it now. And so we need to go hand in hand with working with services that are here and bringing in new research. We hope to see Jefferson County, as it is now, becoming a research-friendly community. Research-friendly means that people want to be involved in research. The community sees the economic benefit of jobs and research dollars, and the community sees that it will be healthier when research happens here out of what the people want. That's what Tiffany Haynes is all about. That is what Dr. Haynes is doing. That's why she is a gift to Jefferson County.
So it actually benefits the community to embrace the program.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Now, if we embrace it, what do we get for embracing it?
Tri-County works with the people who need resources, and we connect them to resources in health.
Okay.
So we work closely with the hospital, we work closely with Jefferson Comprehensive Care, we work closely with the prison system, we work closely with UAPB, we work closely with UAMS South Central. We work closely with many of the people working to give and provide resources because we're the connectors.
Okay.
So we work with both the resources and the people needing the resources.
Okay.
So if somebody is suffering from depression, call us. If somebody is suffering from depression, there are two possibilities. One is you can help us know better what Tiffany Haynes and others can bring into the area, and also you can get connected to resources that are here right now. There are a number of good resources here right now. We're looking for ways that might impact the Delta to reduce it in addition to what everybody is trying to do right now.
So a lot of times people, you may have some services, but you probably don't know exactly what's available to you. Is that a fair assessment?
That's a fair assessment. It's an accurate assessment. When we developed Tri-County Rural Health Network, and people are community health workers, community connectors we call them, we went to ask people what's needed. And what they told us is the resources are pretty much here, but first of all, we have to spend money on food, clothing, and shelter. We don't have money for health care unless it's a crisis. People told us that we're here about resources, but when we really need them right now, we don't know how to get access.
Well, let me ask you this.
Wait a minute, one more thing. They told us that we've had bad experiences before. So we need some people in the community like ourselves helping us to connect to the institutions that can help us.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, if you can hold on that, we're going to go right to a break. And when we come back, I want you to talk a little bit more about that.
Thank you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Hi, my name is Danny Andre Burrell II, a senior here majoring in industrial technology, management, and applied engineering. I thought that I would be looking for a job at this point, but thanks to my mentor, Dr. Charles Colin at Career Services, I was able to obtain a position as an industrial engineer upon graduation.
Danny worked hard in class from the beginning, obtaining 3 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Danny for those same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Dr. Mary Olson with Tri-County Rural Health Network. Thanks again for coming, Doctor.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Okay. Now, when we left, we were talking about Tri-County and how it connects to everything and how some services are here and stuff like that. But I guess my question is, if the services are here and we have people who need it, what is stopping us from kind of pulling everything together to get the things that we need to be successful?
That's a really good point because systems are complex and people don't need them until they need them.
Right, you're absolutely right.
And so people have told us that what they need is people they can trust, people like themselves that can help them access the services, and that's exactly what Tri-County does. That's one of the things that we do. Right now we have a whole program of IPAs, in-person assistants, sisters, helping connect people to the insurance from the Affordable Care Act, and that's all they do is connect people to give them options and their own choices to make.
That's very important what you just said.
Right.
In reference to health care and connecting people to it.
And then we're also out there connecting the elderly and adult disabled people to home and community-based services as an alternative to institutionalized living. And we have a whole group of 3 people working on just connecting people to home and community-based services who are eligible for Medicaid. And that's an extremely important program for the people needing those services. And then the program I'm working closest with is the program to connect people to health services of any kind and research opportunities.
Okay.
So that as we bring more and more research opportunities in, like Dr. Haynes is working on, into the area, we have more and more opportunities for people to participate in research. What we have found is that 97% of the people we talk with say we can always get back in touch with them in terms of health services, and 90% say we would like you to be back in touch with us on research. We would like to be involved in research, but we don't believe anybody will ask us. That's far different than what the myths are about participation in research. So we're hoping here in Jefferson County, where UAMS is active, UAPB is active, and the interest in research is high, to see this as a research-friendly community. So there are two reasons for Tri-County here. One is to connect the people who need it the most to services. And the other is to connect the researchers and the people interested in participating in research together. We believe that if we're going to close the health disparities gaps, it's going to have to be the people who suffer the most from those disparities who give us the answer in research. And so what better place than Jefferson County with UAPB at the helm and all the expertise of UAMS and the glue of holding it all together of Tri-County to make it work.
Now, you spoke about something with adults and children with disabilities. How does Jefferson County fare with getting the services to those adults and children with special needs? Because just gauging from what I know and what I've seen, it seems like they're being left out the most because they may not have the voice to talk and to say, hey, we need these services ASAP, and we need to have access to these services. So how do you think we fare with that?
Well, that's a really good question, especially right now, because the shutdown at the federal level is shutting the EOC operations down, shutting down the Office of Aging operations, and so there are others that are creating it even harder. However, I want to say that Jefferson County is not among the worst. It's roughly in the middle of how we're doing in Arkansas.
Well, we're not doing as bad.
So compared to the rest of the Delta, we have a lot to celebrate of what is going on in Jefferson County. That Jefferson County is aware of its problems. Its politicians are aware of its problems. We are trying to fix problems, which is why it makes it such a research-friendly place to be, because it's not like nothing's ever been done before.
Right.
There is a lot of support here for changing things. People want to move the needle in health here. And working with the institutions like UAPB, UAMS, and on the ground with the real people suffering, the Tri-County works, we have a systems work in which we really believe we can move the needle of health disparities here in Jefferson County.
So with programs like the Tri-County Rural Health Network and partners like UAPB, UAMS, there's a conscious effort into moving mental health into a positive direction so that we can address issues and make our community and our people better. Is that correct?
I'd say mental health, I'd say physical health, and I'd say all those things that affect health. You have on the books the walking and bicycle trails that many places don't have.
Right.
You have a UAPB here very aware of wanting to have a healthier community and wanting to work with those who are working to close disparities. We have a lot going for us here in Jefferson County.
Okay. So, and I've heard that with you and also Dr. Haynes, that physical health, eating right, and mental health all are a contributing factor to someone's well-being. So are you saying that each phase people should take very seriously and towards their mental health, their eating, their physical, and their mental health? Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. You said that better than I ever could say it. You're absolutely right, that it's all interconnected, all intertwined. And I'm sure that Dr. Haynes and the other experts at times have difficulty sorting out where you start working. Those of us on the ground see it all interactive, and try to get people to where they want to get the experts, the resources they want, so that we are responding to their needs and responding to what they will say. But I'm sure that that's very true. So, but if you work on everything, it's hard to work on anything. So as we try to service one area, the other area comes in.
Okay.
And mental health is extremely important. It's rising on the horizon. There not long ago, there was a White House summit on mental health. And as we watched that, we felt so good about what we're doing because it's exactly what the White House said is needed.
Right.
So it was a good place for us to be. But we're the people on the ground.
Okay.
We're the people on the ground, and we're the people that get people to the experts and use the expertise for programs here in the Delta.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to expound a little bit more about mental health and the Tri-County Network. We'll be right back.
So good to see you guys.
So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Fernando, a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm also a graduate of UAPB. I'm currently enrolled in the Master of Science in Aquaculture Fisheries program. Thanks to my mentor, Dr. Eggleton, I'm acquiring unique skills needed for future employment.
Since coming to University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Tony has been involved in a wide range of undergraduate research. Some of this research he plans to publish later this year. UAPB prepares its students for these types of opportunities every day.
UAPB is preparing me.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Dr. Mary Olson with the Tri-County Rural Health Network. Thanks again for coming, Doc.
Hey, good to be here.
All right. Now, on the break, we were talking about some things that Tri-Counties are doing, and you mentioned in our second segment about forums that Tri-County is putting on and different things. But my question to you is, you know, if I'm an average everyday person who I go to work, go to church, and go home, well, why should I attend a forum about mental health? I mean, why should I do that?
That's a really good question. The forums are called Emotional Wellness. How can all rural African Americans have it? How can all African Americans in rural areas be emotionally healthy? And the forum centers around that, not to tell people, but to listen to people. How do we address emotional wellness so that it is for everybody? How does it happen? What are the things we need? One of the things we hear most often in the rural areas of Jefferson County is we don't need everything to be in Pine Bluff. We need it out in our areas too. Forums were developed by the Kettering Foundation, who has one research question: how do we make democracy work as it should? And so the emotional wellness are bringing people together, the people who suffer most from the issue, and the community members who see it in their friends and neighbors every day, to address the question. So that it isn't seen as a problem that the politicians are going to solve. Sorry. It isn't seen as a problem that the experts are going to solve alone. It's seen as us in the community deciding how we are going to address the issue and how the experts can help us, but how we as a people. We had a forum out in Wabaseka, very moving experience. After the forum, the mayor and people got together again to discuss what they need to do. You see a new community center going up in Wabaseka. You see ideas for a walking trail. You see ideas of what Wabaseka as a little community can do to increase emotional wellness. We see people offering to provide support groups for people in Wabaseka. It's one example of how things happen. We've been going around Pine Bluff. There are a number of good suggestions. The purpose of those forums is to hear the people, so that when people like Tiffany Haynes come here, they have the voice of the people in a variety of different ways to develop programs from which the people speak. Depression has come up again and again in the forums we've had, and in a variety of ways, Tiffany is now designing a project by which depression may be addressed here in Jefferson County. It's also, however, a place from which people who attend can take action, take action themselves. So it's a multifold purpose in coming, not to be told, but to share. For the people in the rural areas are the people who have the answers as to how to address the mental health issues of rural African Americans.
Okay, so it's actually the people coming together, giving their input on how and what services need to be rendered and how to access those services to help their community. And I guess the best thing that I'm hearing in it, it's tailor-made to each area, like Wabaseka. Wabaseka is different from Alzheimer. Alzheimer is different from Pine Bluff. You know, then you got Sherrill and different other places. So there are places in those rural communities that have mental health issues and stress issues and other things in reference to it. So it's not a blanket thing that we put over maybe Pine Bluff and say, okay, you other rural areas, you have to concede to this. It's actually going into those various communities and asking them with open arms and saying, how do we address this? Because you're the people who are actually going through it. Tell us what you need. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely. Any actions growing out of a forum will be specific. But it's also true that we take the summaries of what everybody has said in the forums and we'll produce a document, a manuscript that will be available to people in Jefferson County. There's about another year of studying what people have said in forums as the basis for research to reduce depression. Or another way to say it is to increase emotional wellness. So that as we increase emotional wellness, we have the research going on here to test what the results are and then be able to model it for other places in other rural areas. But it is definite recognition that it's a little different in rural areas than it is in urban areas.
Now, I'm glad you said that. You say it's a little different in reference to rural and urban areas. Do you have any kind of stories that you may be able to tell us about that makes a difference to urban and rural areas?
Well, let me tell you a story that relates to all of Tri-County. I want to tell you the story about Albert Einstein's brain. Albert Einstein, that great man of African descent, when he died, he willed his brain to a group of scientists. They studied it and they found that he had 9 billion brain cells. Now that's as many brain cells as you have, as I have, as Dr. Haynes has, as everybody in the world has. About that time they let them open Einstein's letters. And then it said, dear friends, by now you have found I had 9 billion brain cells. The difference was, he says, that I knew that I had 9 billion brain cells. That research rested for over 20 years. And a researcher from Stanford University picked up that brain and she studied it and she found indeed they were right. There were 9 billion brain cells, but she also discovered that Albert Einstein had 73% more support systems, support cells leading to that brain to the rest of his body. Now, Tri-County builds the networks of the common, ordinary people suffering, the common, ordinary people with the answers. It's the networks that make the difference. The networks between the institutions and the media, the networks between the Tiffany Haynes and the people, the networks that connect all of this together in Jefferson County. And that's what's happening because Jefferson County is ready to move the needle.
Well, I want to thank you. This has been very enlightening, and I want to thank you for coming on and letting us know all this great information. I just want to let you know you have just been placed on alert.
Hey, pleasure. Thank you.